So my name is Marissa Chacko. I am a product manager at Foursquare now, and I focus right now on growth and special projects. I started out, and my first real product management job was, I guess, at Zynga, where I was doing consumer gaming. Started out on web, transitioned to mobile, then went to Hotel Tonight, was working there for about a year, working on their consumer-facing mobile apps, and then most recently at Foursquare for about a year and a half. I made the transition. I was working in B2B consulting for IBM, actually, and so a lot of it was very similar to what a B2B product manager might do, where we're helping our clients build tools and infrastructure, but I wanted to move to the consumer side, so in the middle of that I went to Berkeley and got my MBA, so that was kind of my good transition point to move over to the consumer side. I moved out from New York to San Francisco where there was more opportunities, and then really got to dive in on the consumer side, so that's sort of how my path evolved, but it was definitely not linear. I had never heard of product management before I came out to Berkeley, so I didn't know that was what I was going for. I just sort of knew the types of things that I like to do. Yeah, I think for me, product management is a great mix of things. So it has a creative element in that you're working with designers and you're trying to come up with solutions to problems that potentially have never been solved before. So I think that element is really fun and challenging. There's also a heavy analytics aspect. It depends on the company, but for most of the places I work, a heavy analytics component. So I like working with numbers. I like sort of rational decision making based on data, and so there's a good component there. And then there's just a lot of communication and teamwork. It's not really an individual role. You have to work with a bunch of different people, and I think that for me takes it out of that heads down at your desk, working away for 8 hours by yourself. You can't really do that because the whole team needs you and needs your help. So those are probably the three things for me that stand out for product. That's tough. I mean, I think that for new product managers who haven't done it before, I'd say I usually am looking for people who are looking to understand users and understand problems. I think some of the issues I see sometimes with folks that are young and eager is they're I have the perfect solution, Snapchat just did this or Instagram did this, we can do the same thing. And I think that's great, but it's better when they're really focused on who are the users we're trying to serve and who are what are the types of problems we're trying to fix. Because I think that's actually what we care about the most. And then further along the line, I'll be looking for people who have a more developed sense of product strategy. How do we take what we know now and turn it into a vision for 6 months down the road, a year from down the road, and see what should we be building towards. So I think there's different things that you'll be looking for depending on their trajectory, but really just understanding users and a love for solving problems early on is great. I think it's a great job. It's my favorite job I've ever had, so I highly recommend it. I would say, take a look at products that you love, even analog products like your light switches and things like that, and think about what makes them great, what makes them interesting. Spend a lot of time if you want to work on mobile apps for what I do. Think about decomposing, why are certain screens that way, and really look at the elements. So I think thinking about the larger picture is fun, but as a product manager, we needed to decompose, why is that button there, and why did they do this? And so start to really think about those details. And then always think about the users, what is the goal of these different products, what are they trying to address, and take it from that standpoint. But I would say otherwise just explore, learn, talk to a lot of people, talk to a lot of product managers. I think they can give you lots of advice, and that always, I think, has helped me kind of understand where to grow, where my career might need more skill development, and I think that you can bounce ideas off those folks. So that's my advice for now.